Hi, it's Anita. I'm here with Octavia. Octavia and I have been friends for many, many years. A lot of years.
24 years.
24 years. Okay. And Octavia has a center in
Woodland Hills,
Woodland Hills.
California.
Yep. And many, many months ago, she came to us with an idea, right?
Yep.
And she's a psychic channel. She channels dead people.
Yep.
And anyway, uh, tell us the Abel story.
So I was doing a past life regression for somebody in 2018. It was a woman who was coming just to get a regression, not necessarily to speak with anybody who had passed. But in past life regressions, often people kind of hop in, they jump in to say hi or, with messages or whatever. Well, with her high school sweetheart jumped in. So that was many, many years prior. And he was a boy who they were deeply in love as high school sweethearts, and he died shortly after graduation. He got into a car accident and he died. And so his name was Abel, and he came through very strongly in this past life regression. So he had a lot to say to her, and they communicated. It was a beautiful thing. Um, I was honored to be witness to their reunion. And after the regression was over, Abel just didn't leave. He hung out with me. And that's happened before, but not like this. This was different. He hung out with uh, intention, meaning that there was something he wanted, and we had conversations about him wanting to be able to communicate with his high school sweetheart directly. So Abel's goal was to cut out the middleman, me, right? Or any medium or channeler or psychic, and to have a tool that the people could communicate directly. Okay. And I was totally fine with that. I thought it was a great idea. But the cards needed to be simple and easy to understand. And he wanted them to say certain things. So this deck was channeled through me from Abel. So I didn't write one word of the cards. Each card he wrote, I designed them, the pretty colors. That's about all I did. And he wrote each card out, and he wanted this deck to be available specifically for his high school sweetheart, but he wanted them out for the masses. He wanted them to be able to talk directly to their loved ones. And I thought it was a novel idea. And I remember searching, going, there's got to be cards like that out there. And I couldn't find them. I couldn't find that particular type of card. So I agreed to do it. And then I dropped the ball for years. For years. I think 18, 19. So for 3 years, I dropped the ball, got busy with life, you know, and he would pop in every now and then and remind me of the commitment that I made. And I would agree and be like, okay, I know, and drop the ball again. I did a lot of ball dropping for 3 years. And then I came here in 2021, and Abel joined me, and he smacked me on the back of the head like a psychic slap and said, it's time. And so I had that experience with him while I was here visiting you guys. And then I just shared with you the experience, right? That Abel popped in. He really wants me to do these cards. And that had been the first time that you had heard about the cards. So we mulled over the idea, and luckily you guys were able to help guide me with, bouncing off the idea of how to get them out there to people. And here they are. They got done.
They got done.
got done.
And Robert did a lot of the getting them done.
He did all of the getting them done.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I'm not really instrumental in much of this. Like, the cards were written by Abel, the production was done by Robert. I'm just kind of like the face, I guess. I didn't do a lot. But
So she's here today
yeah,
appropriately. As many of you know, our beloved Maria passed a couple months ago, and we had a celebration of life here at the center today. And you drove all the way just to be
absolutely.
here for this, and
In
you,
one shot.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Wouldn't miss it.
yeah, yeah. But you had a special connection with Maria,
I did.
and the thing is that when we first got the cards, Maria was the first one we gave them to.
Mhm.
Her husband had passed during the COVID, and um, and she was so anxious to speak to him. Anyway, she had some amazing experiences. She spoke to him every day,
Yep.
and even when she was passing, she spoke to him every day. And
Yeah.
and I said, Maria, are you sure you want to do this? And she said, he's waiting for me. He's waiting for me. He
Yeah.
tells me every day. And so today I said, let's do a video and share these. So while we were doing our celebration of life, okay, Brianna got the idea to pick a card. And we had just sang um, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, because that's Spirit woke me up one morning and said, you have to go to Maria's and sing her this song. And that's when she was just really near the end. And so I did. I went to her room and I sang her this song. And then when Brianna pulled the cards, what do you remember the cards?
One was I Didn't Suffer,
Right.
and the other one was Think of Me Before You Sleep, right?
No, it was something about Over the Rainbow.
No.
No.
No, she was like, yeah, over the rainbow, like when you sleep,
Right.
you travel. So
Yeah.
Brianna was like, this is what she's saying. It said, think of me before you sleep.
Yeah. Anyway, we thought it was appropriate that we do this today. And we did film our celebration of life, and we'll share that with you at some future time. And
It was beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Worth the drive.
So we want you to know, and some of our psychics came to speak to you today.
Yeah, I was so moved by that. Three of the readers here that I didn't know came up to me and shared their experiences using the cards with their clients. And all three of them said the same thing. They said, you know, these cards are doing what they're supposed to do. They help so many people. Excuse me. And that just makes my heart huge, because that's what Ava wanted. You know, one of the readers said that she herself is not a medium, but in her sessions, she uses the cards and adds that ability for her client to talk, to communicate with whoever they're communicating with. So that's huge value, you know, to any session. If somebody is already open to the possibilities of the gifts that the readers are sharing with them, and then all of a sudden they're able to also help them communicate if they wish, you know, the opportunity is there. That's huge.
I remember one instance when Maria was passing, and we didn't want her to suffer, and we were, wondering how long is this going to take, and and somebody said, pull a card, and the card said, be patient.
Yeah. You know, when Abel was telling me what to write on the cards, some of them I remember being like, are you sure? Really? Like, are you sure? And he knew what he was doing, because the feedback from people that have used them is incredible, you know. So
It is. It is. So we want you to know that we're only one of two places. Octavia has these at her center,
yep,
and we have them here.
yep.
But we're selling them like crazy.
And we aren't. We sell them, but not like you guys are here. You guys they're flying off the shelves here. At my place, they trickle off the shelves. Yeah, but people are using them, and we're getting good feedback from the people at our place that are purchasing them and using them. they report back great stuff. So I'm so happy that it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it is.
You
It
know.
is.
Can I see him?
Yeah. So here's the pretty box. Okay.
Thank you, Vanna.
I know, right? Like you'd think I'd be able to open up my own box. Okay. And I love this. This is a picture of Abel. I don't know if you can see that. He's a pretty handsome dude. And then the cards are here. And you know, one thing that people at my place have asked is, do you have to be a psychic to use these cards, or do I take these cards to a psychic and have them read them? And no, anybody can use these cards. Anybody. There's no level of use, user level. Um, and there's a little bit of a story that tells you how they came about. There's another picture of Abel, and then towards the back, there's instructions that you can see that give you guidance on how you could go about using these cards. And then there's a little blurb about me. Okay. And then there's all his cards, you know, in their powerful, beautiful way, you know. And so, like some of these cards, like this one, that was me. I remember going, "Are you sure that's what? Am I interpreting that correctly? Like, is that all you wanted to say? That was me." Some of these cards, I really questioned what he was saying, but that's what he was saying.
Okay, here's the Maria story.
Okay.
Okay, so Maria had years ago. She was in a really bad car accident, and her hip would go out of place occasionally. Okay, and and would be very painful. And so our chiropractor told her to have her lay down on the floor and have William pull her leg to put her
Yeah.
hip back in. So she was having a really hard time with her hip, and the chiropractor was sick or out of town or something. He couldn't get to her, and so she went to bed that night saying,
I know this story.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
how William, I wish you were here, to help me through this." Well, she woke up the next morning, the pain was gone, and she said, did you do something? And then she pulled that card. That was me.
How funny that I pulled this card right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
these are the little coincidences, the little messages that we get. You'll hear a message in the video where I channeled what Maria told me, because we had a deal that if she went first, she was going to tell me what it was like, and she did. And I've had a lot of communication with her, even without the cards. But so we can communicate. We can communicate, and all we have to do is ask. Okay, and a lot of times I have psychics or people come here and they say, "How do you get to be psychic? How can you talk to the spirits?" And I say, first you have to ask them. Okay, you have to ask. You have to be willing. Okay,
Yeah.
and and when you say okay, you know, then it'll happen. You know, we were just laughing about going to Jerome, and
Yeah.
you said there'll be a lot of spirits there to talk to me. Well, that's one of the reasons I don't go to Jerome. Okay,
Yeah.
because they all want to talk to me, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's important that people know, and I'm really being called to say this right now. I think it's important that people know that everybody has the ability
Right.
to communicate. You don't have to be a psychic or a reader or a channeler or anything, but you can do it. You have it in you. It's important that people understand that and know that. And this is just a tool. That's it. These cards aren't magic. The cards are a tool, and it's you that's making that connection. And that's one of the important things Abel wanted people to know. I mean, he really kind of wanted to put like psychic people out of the picture. And I get it. I agree with that. Like, empower people to communicate themselves. And for those who wish to do that, this is a good tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To
it's excellent.
develop their own gifts.
It is.
You know.
It's excellent. So if you have a feeling or a calling or want to do that, just call our store. Talk to Tyler. Tyler's our manager. He worked with Maria for a long time, and she taught him a lot. And he's doing a really great job of following her.
Filling those
Yeah.
big shoes.
Yeah. We thought it was going to take at least 3 people to.
Yeah.
Well, it is actually. He has 2 helpers.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we just wanted to connect with you and have you meet Octavia and know about these cards that are available. And just give us a call. And stay tuned. We're going to share our celebration of life with you pretty soon.